Ahem. Mm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Got it. Hey guys, it's a high Athens here. Welcome back to another segment where I'm gonna do a test video on how the Duelsense wireless controller works. The last video that I did was an unboxing video that wasn't really that great. It was kinda half-assed. I was kinda pausing for a bit. I didn't really put that much all my effort in that one video, so I decided, Jesus, it's actually hot, so it's almost winter. I decided to actually make a improvement and actually make a way better quality video that I actually anticipated. Uh, there was like a lot of problems with the video. There was like a lot of stuttering. I didn't really know what to say about it. I was kind of confused, to say the least. I didn't really do that much unboxing videos for where the hell is that? Anyhow, I didn't really put that much effort in my unboxing videos, so I'm gonna make a better one starting today. But this video is gonna be a little bit different than I actually did so far. We gotta do a test video of how the DualShock 4. I'm just gonna cut the PS5 because it's gotta be better cutting a DualShock wireless controller. I'm gonna use the PlayStation 5 or the PS5 controller for the PC and see if it actually works on Steam. Now, if you didn't know this before, the DualSense controller only works on certain devices. It works for the PS3. It works for the Android, iPhone, supposedly not iPad, but whatever. It works for the Nintendo Switch if you have a Bluetooth adapter, and it works well with anything. Now, apparently, I don't even need to use a Bluetooth adapter. I got the 8-bit do Bluetooth adapter, but that doesn't really come until Thursday, and I'm kind of screwed without one. So we are going to usually try to use the showcase it without the adapter, since that doesn't really come until the 6th on Wednesday, and I'm kind of screwed because of it. So I went to my local Target and got myself a Type-C adapter. Now you can use this with the Nintendo charger, but that's not recommended. I got this around, and we can pretty much connect this around to our tile. Crap. Now it might be different. Like I said, I'm gonna update Steam, and I'm gonna try my best to usually showcase it with the best of my abilities. Try to showcase this as much as possible. I may suck at this video, but I could not care less. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. Yada yada. Could be better, but I don't even know what to say. It's really kind of confusing, but you get the whole memo. Okay, so honestly, now the thing about the DualSense 4 is that it does work for the PC. I did test it out on the Nintendo Switch because I don't have a capture card, but we gotta test it on the PC. Now, if you use it for the PC most of the time, you actually have to download a driver that actually comes with this. Now, the thing about most PCs is that once you actually put this in the USB slot, it will install this driver for you. Most gamepads will usually driver most of the time, and the way Windows 7 or Windows computers usually work so far is that once you actually put this in the USB port, be it Type C or Type B, it will recognize it as an actual gamepad, and then it will actually install some drivers. Now, you need those drivers to actually use it for Steam. Now, there's other third-party drivers you can use for, let's say, emulators or type of stuff. I don't know if it's actually possible, but we don't know if we actually tried before. So for the most part, this is actually kind of work around. It may categorize as a gamepad, but I don't know. I can use any type of Type-C cables I actually want, and it makes no difference. So let's try to usually get Steam up and running, because I don't even know what I'm doing so far, and I have some issues trying to exit out. So let's upload Steam to see if it actually works to our own favor. And there we go. Ooh, that was actually a bad quality on my part, but Okay, so let me tell you how it usually works so far. I actually need my iPad to see the results, and I'm kind of nervous, but it's my channel, and I can't do anything so far. So, yeah, kind of confusing. So I am Steam now, as I should, and apparently, if you use this for Steam, you don't need an 8-bit DUI or a Bluetooth adapter for your controller. The way Steam works so far is that when you actually plug this in and have the Steam client up most of the time, you could actually plug this in a USB slot, and then the client will actually recognize this as a gamepad, and then you can actually use this for games that actually are controller compatible. It may be kind of weird, but the way Steam usually works so far is that some games will actually work on controllers. Now, there are two ways I could use this. You could use this without a big picture mode, or you could use it without it. But sometimes some games will usually work if you have big picture mode, and some games will not. So the vast majority of the times, people say that this works for the PC, but some of them are usually kind of fake. They didn't really specify what type of client you had to use. I know they had to use a third-party driver if you want to play with emulators or use a custom firmware file, but we don't know. There's no specification whatsoever, and it's more of a try and error on my part. But I'm going to try to usually showcase it. I'm trying my best to usually add some content, so who knows? I can't really indicate that, but yeah, it's really kind of obvious. But let's get this on. So when you actually use this for your controller, you can try to go to big picture mode. Now you can just usually plug this into your USB port, and they will recognize it. Like I said before, there are some games I usually work for it. I don't know the whole detail about it, but sometimes it may or may not work in your own favor, so who knows. We plug this into the port, and you can see that when you actually plug this into the USB port, the LED light will actually light up. It will actually do it. You actually see a prompt on the bottom right corner of the screen that the connection has been put in. Now I already configured my setup from the big picture mode, and I already did so far. And apparently, what makes this really kind of different is that when you actually plug this in, it actually kind of works. Now, you notice that you don't really see the light, but it does indicate that it does in fact work. And apparently, I don't have to do anything, but pressing this actually brings me out to big picture mode. Yeah, so apparently, if I decided to use this from the get-go, it gives you back to the big picture mode. I didn't know it was supposed to do that. Maybe I was kind of new to the whole format, but this is my first time. Alright. So I don't know the whole detail, but let's try to usually showcase this. So, as you might know, the D-pad, the analog stick, the triggers, the L1, the left one button actually works. It works well. There's no issue about it. You have to see it for yourself. So, the way it usually works so far is that it usually works with USB. You can try to use a Bluetooth adapter, but we can try to use big picture mode. Now, like I said, there may be some games we can't really see in big picture mode. My PC is kind of thicky with some capture card systems, but I already know. But I'm gonna go to my game library, and I'm gonna go to controller support. Now you notice that there's some. Now the thing about Steam is that there's some games that might work with a gamepad or a controller, and something that might work to your own favor. So sometimes there might be someone we actually can use the left stick, but sometimes there are some games that don't really work. For the majority of the testing I actually did, it does affect work on games that usually are controller compatible, but if you take out controller support, there are some games that do actually work, but some games won't really allow you to use a D-pad and analog stick, and some games will only allow you to use one section of the button. Now I don't know the whole detail about into why that is usually the case, but I can only tell you so far that only a select few games actually work, but this is actually proof that you don't even need a Bluetooth adapter. You notice that this is actually kind of plugged in. People may say that you need a 8-bit do adapter to actually play this, but for PC you can just plug this in, have a client, and it usually works well. Steam, you can usually get a driver to play some emulator, PS4X, PS DX, a driver or something. You can install a controller driver from the internet that's usually legitimate or something else, where it works for you. What happens happens. So it does in fact work. That's what I noticed. So that's what the sort of buttons actually kind of work, to say the least. I never have an issue with the never have any issue with the whole latency or input detection. Now, besides the design of the control, there's really no input detection. I don't really have input lag. I press one button and it just has zero input lag wherever I press down. But let's try this game from the get-go and see how it usually works, and let's try to see what it usually does so far. Now, I can't guarantee it will be actually shorter on this video. You might see a back screen, but who knows? Will it work? Will it not? Who knows? So, let's see what happens so far. And we got a black screen. Great. We can't really see anything. A black screen. Aye. This is terrible. Yeah, like I said, there's some games. That's the reason why I don't like OBS, because even if I did have my setup complete, some games will not be optimized for the program, and then you will see a black screen 100% of the time. Again, it may be some games because this game keeps in the 90s, but that's my fault for not checking it. So it doesn't really work. Okay, let's try Castle Crashers, my all-time favorite. Let's see if it actually works so far. I really want to see some. I want to see some gameplay so far. I want to see it work. Okay. You don't see it. Oh my god. Oh my god. You don't even see the screen. That's the issue. Okay, that's the issue with OBS. It doesn't really work. Yeah, this is a bad start. You can't really see any gameplay video of me using this control as proof. That some games will usually work. It doesn't really work in big picture mode, but how to make myself a playlist, all the games I use are supported with this. Who knows? Okay. Okay. So yeah, we actually see something from the beginning. And it's not full screen as you might expect it, but apparently is only in Windows mode. Yeah, I know it's kind of amateur, it's kind of unprofessional of me to make something that's actually in Windows mode, but this is the best I can. So we got Bobsy in Cross Account of the Four Kind. And apparently, this is the only game that actually kind of works. I might as well just usually give my what's the spec how it usually works so far. my god, the frame rate has been so bad. I'm not, dude, the frame rate is so bad. Oh my god. Dude, what is going on? No audio. I can't turn it off. Dude. Okay, how do you turn this off? Oh my god, the frame rate, the audio hiccups. Oh my god. This never happened before. Okay, what is going on? Like, dude, I know that this is an emulator, but I'm not even on acid. What is going on? Was it because of this? Was it because of this? I don't even know. I'm done. So yeah, this actually does work with any game. I didn't know that there was actually kind of frame rate drops. The last time I actually played this, there was no frame rate drop. The frame rate actually went smoother the last time I actually played this, but maybe because of big picture mode. I don't know. This game is not my criteria, and this was an epic fail. The frame rate keeps dropping to some degree, and I didn't expect this to usually happen in my video. It does go to show us that this actually sucks. But hey, it works. What has happened is beyond me. But, case in point, it does work. It's just that only some games are mostly optimized for it. You can't really indicate if it does work, but whatever. So I need to get a big picture mode. Because it's just no annoying. So apparently, if I didn't know so far, you can actually press this, and you will go straight to big picture mode. I didn't know that was a cool feature, but apparently you could just quick shot that, and you just go to big picture mode wherever you want to go. I didn't know it was gonna happen. Maybe it was something I didn't know, but we had to avoid pressing this. I just figured out pressing the start button, but let's try to usually play some games. I didn't know that this is going to be an issue, but apparently, if you have that game running in the big picture mode quiet, it does slows down the frame rate. That's what I try to notice so far. But let's try to play this game without big picture mode evolve, and it's still a bright screen. Of course. So we have no choice but to do it on Windows. Yeah, I know it's kind of sucked, but I understand the fact that I have no control about it. But like I said, this is the best I could do in terms of showing gameplay. I have no control about it. You didn't know me, but here's what it is. It looks tacky. I know it's not unprofessional, but you'd be surprised. So yeah,
okay, no talking.
it's really not that much of a bad experience with using this. It's actually kind of smooth compared to all the other controls I have. Now, keep in mind I do use the DualShock 4 to play some games on the PC, but I don't use it that much because it's not that much necessary. I'm more of a keyboard user than a controller user, but with some games I like to use a controller that's like recommended. I usually use the DualShock 4, but before this I had to use that instead. And since this is actually came, I might as well just use it as a substitute. It's comfortable to use and it's actually kind of smooth. Compared to the DualShock 4, is kind of awkward to use. But yeah. Now you notice that even if I did post the analog stick, the camera doesn't really move. That's because in some games, there'll be some games that only use the D-pad and not the analog stick. And that's because this game came out when the analog stick actually arrived. So as you can see, I could just move my character, jump with the X button, press this for the camera with the square button, and press the circle button to shoot, so it's not even that bad, to be honest. And I'm much surprised that this actually works. Now, there's like a lot of frame rate drops, but I'm not surprised. It's not that perfect, and the game itself is kind of inconsistent. I mean, it's not that bad, to be honest. The controller actually does in fact work. It's just that sometimes with Steam, it may or may not work in your favor, and most of the time you have to be careful what you actually use. But so far, the D-pad actually responds well. There's no input lag, no input detection when you actually press it. It's actually kind of smooth. It's not that stiff or not that tight. It's actually kind of well executed. And for the most part, it's not even that bad. So, I don't see whose issue. It works well. It doesn't really work well. Alright. Alright. So maybe that's about it. So it's a great substitute to actually use it than the DualShock 4. I mean, so yeah, I have to admit the touchpad and the buttons do actually work, and the response time is actually kind of shorter compared to the DualShock 4. I never have any issues with input delays and input lag from this console. It's not even that bad. It's just that some games are only optimized to some games, and you know, if it actually kind of works, it's beyond me. So that's about it. So yeah, you have to keep in mind that when it comes to, let's say, games on Steam, there'll be only some games you actually use on the D-pad and not on the stick. It doesn't really utilize the analog stick really that often, and some games will only work on some titles. So you have to use the D-pad most of the time. But how does it use is beyond me. So let's try Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. I already played this game a lot, but when you see this simple, that means that it has a full controller support. Games are usually on to have a partial controller support. It does work, but only sometimes would usually work on a time. And like I said, it's not that consistent until you actually test out each game from the library, and that's only if you actually get a functioning layout. Or at least that's assuming. So let's see if we did get a bad screen. Because I hope we don't get a bad screen because, trust me, it gets annoying so bad. Apparently you can't see it. So,
Sega.
if you look at my video, you see a white screen, and that's how OBS actually position it.
Once upon a time, two devoted sweethearts.
Yeah, I could tell that this is not gonna be a pleasant experience. Okay, that was awful. Yeah, I don't even expect this to usually happen. Like I said, with OBS, it's not even that consistent, to say the least. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. But like I said before, as you might notice, on some games that allow you to use the analog stick, it does in fact work. We actually press up and down, and there's no issues actually using this from the get-go. It works so well to the point where I don't have any issues playing this. It's not that really annoying, but it looks like we have to use Windows mode, and I know it sucks, but I can't make any decisions.
Ominous and terrifying.
So it's the best I could do so far, but
The Castle of Illusion was Mizrabel's twisted playground of trickery and peril. Nothing there was as it seemed.
so for the most part, if I move the left analog stick to the right, it does actually spawn well. Now, I like using the D-pad because it gives it more control, but you can tell that the game itself is actually functioning well to my own record. I don't have any issues actually playing this. And you can see that I'm actually pressing this in a full 360 circle motion. It does affect well without having a 180-degree angle. So you can tell that it actually works well to some degree. I'm actually kind of impressed that this is actually a fully functional controller, because some games only work with a D-pad direction, but this one goes 360 all the way.
Into the castle entryway strode the mouse with the heart of a great lion, though his knees felt more like those of a frightened kitten.
So for the most part, it's not even that much bad, to say the least. I would say that the experience for using this is actually kind of smooth. It's not actually bad. It feels so smooth to the point where I don't feel any stiffness.
I wonder what's behind this door.
I don't have any issues with using this, so yeah. So, like I said, I don't have the 8-bit dual control
Mickey
in my
crossed
possession.
the threshold and emerged once again into the forest. But it was changed somehow. This wasn't the pastoral wood he remembered.
It plays well, to say the least. I mean, to be honest, the game itself is not even that bad. The controls actually are actually kind of smoother than I actually anticipated. Okay, that actually sucks, but alright. And you can tell that it's actually kind of smooth though, and not that tedious to actually use. I have no comment.
Maybe an apple a day would keep the mushrooms at bay, thought Mickey.
I was surprised that this actually kind of works. Can I reach that? Okay.
Knowing he would need a way to defend himself, Mickey remembered how accurate he always was in the annual apple throwing contest back home.
I'm surprised that this actually kind of works. The detection is actually kind of smooth. There's no actual input lag, so this is actually way executed to actually anticipated. So yeah, so for the most part, it's not actually kind of bad to actually think about it. Beyond that, it's actually kind of smooth. I mean, the jump part is actually kind of smooth and on point.
The signpost was created by Mizrabel, so of course, it had a mischievous streak.
Sure wish that signpost would make up its mind. Gosh, which way should I go?
Suddenly, Mickey was in another part of the wood. Were these gigantic trees, or had Mickey been shrunk? Mickey found himself back in the clearing and back to his original size.
So far, it's not even that bad. I'm surprised it actually works. For any bugs, you can usually get something that actually works so well without input detection, and this is actually the only controller that is actually kind of compatible with all systems besides the PS4, and I was surprised it actually kind of works for Steam. I saw how I was gonna use the adapter to usually play it, but this was the case.
Mickey had to move fast.
It's not actually that bad to say the least. It works well, it's kind of smooth, and there's no issue using it. It's not actually that bad. It's not even that bad to say the least. I don't even know what to say.
Mickey knew he was closer to Mizrabel now. The very air around him tingled with mischief and danger.
I kind of have to say about it. It plays well, it plays smoothly, and this is the only controller that actually works. That doesn't really suck. I mean, for over 5 years, I played with controllers that actually suck, that has some connected issues, but for some reason, this actually is the only controller that actually works in my favor. And I'm actually kind of astonished. It doesn't really suck. I mean, for the most part, the game plays well with the Duelsense control, and I can't wait to actually get the PS5 when it actually releases. It's not a bad console. I'm actually kind of glad that Sony actually makes this compatible with some devices, including PC. Because I gotta wake up around 5 a.m. to actually get the console on launch day, and I had to do an unboxing video showcasing that. I mean, that's a fact walk. So I'm astonished. I mean, I would give this a proper 5 of a 10 out of 10. I mean,
Mizrabel taunted Mickey with her cruel laugh, but perhaps she was secretly worried about how close he was getting.
I mean, to be fair, for $80, you can actually get a controller that's actually a better substitute to the DualShock 4. Now, in the beginning, I actually used the DualShock 4 for PC, but sometimes it would not work the way I actually expected. There might be some trips and some analog trips that happen on a daily basis, but with the Duelsense 4, there was no actual issues. It actually kind of works for both big picture and non-big picture mode, so you gotta play this on desktop without full screen. For the most part, you don't really need a trifle, except if you actually want to play some Game Boy Advance emulators. You do need a separate driver that's not Steam worthy, and it's kind of complicated at best, but you know, it usually happens in a different instances, but it's a different scenario you have to usually take into consideration, because the way this is actually built for the PC is that it has to install a trifle we actually first started. So you can use any Type C batteries, but I got actual Type C. That's the case. This one is actually kind of liable. It's not actually longer, and it's kind of short, so it's like three inches at best. So not actually expected.
With the frights and sprites of the forest behind him, Mickey faced the next part of his the grumpy old oak tree. Like all of Mr. Dull's illusions, he was no friend to Mickey.
No, don't get me wrong. The Duelsense 4 didn't have input detection because of the Duelsense, but the thing is about the Duelsense is that it was kind of hard to use. Because if the control vibrate, you use control for 1 second and then it wouldn't work most of the time. It was kind of more of a pain in the ass because we played a game such as Destiny, and if we play a huge match in the Crucible matches, it would get difficult and you have no control. And that would be mostly kind of difficult when you actually play multiplayer. Because sometimes the control would not work in your own favor and you need to actually take into consideration how it usually works.
Now it was time for our hero to move on.
And it does in fact work, it's just that some guys will only work in some cases.
Exploring the castle halls, Mickey now had one of the rainbow gems that would help him save Minnie. But he knew there were more to find, and the Masters of Illusion would not give them up without a fight.
I don't know how it's supposed to work, but whatever. You also can see the HUD. Now, like I said before, once I didn't put it in my last unboxing video, it said it doesn't have the same touchpad as the DualShock 4. Now, if you remember from the original DualShock 4, there's like a lot of controls you actually use. When this first came out, when the original PS4 came out, a lot of guys used the touchpad at the middle of the control. Now, this is only for launch games that actually use it so far, but since then, not many games actually use it. It's more of a additional option select button, and a lot of games don't want to use it. And I guess that Sony realizes that nobody uses the touchpad to draw or use it as a semi controller, so they knew for the fact that nobody really uses it, so it doesn't really function well. But it only functions as a additional button, which makes no sense. But you know, it's a great idea because nobody uses the DualShock 4 touchpad in the center. It was already used to this since day one, so I don't really blame it for usually getting rid about that. As we go DualShock 4, I have to usually get another button for a control freak. I need to go to my local GameStop, actually kind of get it, whatnot, and hope for the best. There may be a GameStop in front of me, but what works for me works for anything. So that's actually kind of good. Like I said, and it does in fact work. We gotta try one more game to see how it usually works so far, and then we actually be done. Now, I already know, so you already got the idea how the controller works on PC. Like I said, some games will work with analog-stick, some already use the D-pad. I can't speak for myself, but it does work for Steam without a Bluetooth adapter for your control. You don't need to spend about $20 for an 8-bit dual control. You gotta use the Type C. But I do need to get myself a capture card to solve the Nintendo Switch version to see how it works, and maybe I change my opinion. Who knows? Beggars can't be choosers, and I can't always be right from the get-go. I'm only human, and I can't usually say for myself, but hey, I'm the high asinus. I for acid, I for a high. Pick your poison. Let's try costume crest. Let's try costume crest, and then that'll be it. And then I'm gonna try showcasing another game that I already tried so far. And I might be able to make a gameplay video of it. I already started exercising for 3 days, so really suck at my diet, but what else do I do? I need to track my calories for one bit. Have a burrito from Chipotle. La 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 la. Jesus. Yeah. Chipotle. So I have a veggie burrito from it was $13 because I didn't get a drink. I did drink some water. Didn't really expect this. Burrito. Something else. Oh yeah, veggie burrito. 845 calories. That's a lot, but I'm gonna have some tacos for dinner. Could be sad, but we don't get a bright screen. That was for lunch, and that's some water. Yeah, we're doing good. We're not actually doing bad for this video. It's good. Yeah. Let's play the game already. Another black screen. Great. God. You know, maybe my PC sucks because I'm still using Windows 7, but I don't want to use Windows 10 because of the whole compatibility issues. Then it's got to be the same thing as Windows 7, and I don't want that. I might as well build my own PC with a capture card, CPUs, motherboard, RAM, and all that type of crap, but that's about it. That's about it. So, that's pretty much Steam. I actually wanted to usually showcase emulators so far. Like I said before, I'm not now. Besides Steam, I have already got the chance to actually showcase if they in some games actually work for emulators. Now, people say that you actually can use this for the PC, but for what use? Do I play this with an emulator? We already know for the fact you actually can use on Steam because the Steam client has an automatic driver built into the client per se. But if you want to play for this, it's actually kind of complicated. They don't actually explain that much, but I might as well try to usually play some games for the get-go. We have the Super Nintendo. We got the S and the S9, so we still have that. I'm not sure how it's supposed to work, but I'm going to give it a try to see if some games actually work for emulators. Now, a lot of YouTubers said you can actually use it for the PC, but they were kind of vague. They didn't really specify what type of usage you can actually use this. Because frankly enough, a lot of YouTubers they do is spray that give it in-depth detail if you actually use for emulators such as the NES 9X. So you have to take a gander and try to do everything in power. So let's try to look up Super Nintendo ROMs, and let's try Baby Kiss. Now let's see it actually works so far.
Hey, yo!
Let me check the audio. Oh, it does in fact work. Oh my god. Oh.
Hey, yo! Baby's kids! Hey, yo!
Oh, it does in fact work. It does work.
Hey, yo!
Okay. So it does in fact work automatic. You don't need you don't need to get a additional trifle. All right. Okay, so you don't need a different trifle for this one. That was automatic. So we can just you can use the D-pad, but it doesn't really work. The game. You can just jump. Oh my god, why do I do this to myself? Oh my god. So it does in fact work on some games, but like I said, if you try to press this in the 360 note gen, it doesn't really work. I don't know what's going on, but try to interpret this as your own will. Use your imagination, because apparently it does in fact work for emulators. That I would give it credit, but I choose to pick the worst games on purpose because I want to see the total of how many games are. So then let's try to do the controller input and achieve what we have so far. So the same. So let's try to rework this. So like I said before, you don't need to. So like I said, with some controllers, you need a separate driver for it to actually work. Otherwise, even if you did plug it in, it wouldn't even work regardless. And what I have to keep in consideration so far is that it does in fact work as you might expect it, but like I said, I had to reconfigure this from the get-go. Because I didn't really take this into account. Like I said, I had to remap my key bindings for this one. Had to do some configuration and negotiate with the system to make sure my system is actually doing well. But whatever. Up left, up right. Oh, down right, down left. Got it. So it does in fact work. You just have to rework it. In the beginning, I was using a arcade stick. The thing I had to keep in mind about it is that I was using a very simple arcade stick, and sometimes you're going to press up or down, but apparently this is usually way better than a holy fighting stick for the PS4. I wasn't aware that this actually kind of works the same way because of it, because I thought it's gotta be the same, but apparently this one is way more superior in the sense that I can actually just play this without any issues. It actually calibrated without any issues. And to give you an explanation, what makes the Duelsense controller way better than the holy fighting stick is that in the beginning I was just using this for arcades for maybe anything, but I kind of realized that it didn't really work well as I anticipated, because to move up or left, it doesn't really register that from the get-go. You have to usually press up and then down, and then you were kind of screwed. With the Duelsense control, I could just usually just press the D-pad on the up left, and it will actually register that. That's actually kind of new that I didn't really notice from the get-go, and I'm actually kind of glad that they actually fixed that. Damn, I'm impressed. So we actually can use the so we actually can use the oh wow, we can actually press up left, down right without any issues. No input detection, no nothing. This is actually kind of perfect. I never knew that this would actually happen 1% at a time. I'm impressed. Maybe I was too judgmental about it. I did say it was nothing but a soup up DualShock 4, but I take that back. It's more than a DualShock 4. It's a Duelsense controller, to be said. You know, I was kind of naive, but you know. Okay, so that was a product, but let's play Batman. Let's try to play something different. Let's play Dante Country. Let's see if it actually works so far. Yes, it does in fact work. So apparently it does in fact work. Now the controller sensitivity is so oversensitive to the point where it's not really bad or good. It says mix. It's balanced. It's just fine to the point where you have more control into how you actually move your character. Yeah. I'm impressed. I don't have any issues playing this, and it's not a bad controller to say. It's a great controller to actually use so far. It responds well. It detects the. It's so good to the point where I don't have any complaints about it. Like I'm surprised that it actually works to the point where I don't have any issues actually connecting to it. There's no connectivity issues from the get-go when I actually put this. Okay, so so I already did try it. Now, like I said before, it might be different for some emulators. It might be different. Some emulators will work well, but you never know if it actually could work. So you have to give it a test try. But I like the fact that you could just usually just input this. I tried I mean, you could try to input this and try to input your settings, and then it will be actually good. And apparently, it does in fact work in some cases, but I'm actually amazed. I don't really need a separate driver to actually use this. It actually works well without one, so well a tad to me. Let's try to play some ROMs I never played so far, and let's try to play something else I never have. Let's try, where would he? Let's try Breath of Fire. It takes a lot of time to boot up. I'm surprised that it actually kind of works because I remember correctly, if I wanted to use a gamepad, I would have to download a driver from the internet, and it may or may not work to my own favor, but it actually does in fact work. That's free shirt, so yeah. So this is like the Aliens remake, if you didn't notice. So yeah, it works for all emulators. I'm not sure it works for the PSX emulator, but it doesn't look like work. I know it's got a. That actually not bad facilities, but. I did play this game on the Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't be surprised, but the game, the control actually works well in my experience. It's not that bad, to say the least. Actually not much bad, to say the least, so I can't usually complain about Detroit being kind of broken. So yeah, it does in fact work. Like I said, I'm not sure how the N64 version is supposed to work. Now, I'm not sure if this is now. I'm not sure if it's going to work on the Project 64 emulator, because I remember the fact that if you want to use this, you actually had to use this for, let's say, a controller program. Like I said, well, there's like the X input, and I know for the fact that if you want to use this, you had to get the X input plugin. And there's like left and there's like right, and I'm usually kind of confused. Like I said, it does respond well except a driver, but like I said, Sign will only work on. I'd like to say that Sign will only work on separate occasions, but it's more of a trying to ever part where you actually have to give it a chance, and you have to actually configure your controls before you actually use it. And like I said, I don't know the whole analog stick maneuver, but the thing about playing N64 games or emulators is that it's usually more complex to set your control configs, and then you have to make sure. Besides Steam, it does in fact work for emulators without the use of let's just say a gamepad. So that's that. We also got the C button. Now for the axis, so far the axis system is actually kind of great compared to let's say auto controllers. Now I don't know about the C button, is kind of vague. I'm assuming that the N64 has an analog stick on the middle of the control, not at the left. I don't know. I never have the Nintendo 64 as a kid. I did play at my neighbor's house, but that was like 7 years ago. So whatever. You can also use the right analog stick, so it does in fact work. That's how we tested so far, and I don't know. I'm gonna give it a try. I don't know about the controller pack. Who knows? I'm going to usually open up a ROM hack. Whatever works for me works for it. Not all emulators are created equal, so you have to take this with a grain of salt. We got N64 ROMs. We got Bowser Katsuri. Hold on. Yeah? Hold on, I had to usually catch something. I had to check the mail. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Mm. Yeah, sorry about that. My roommate called me. My cousin made some food, and I had to usually get there as fast as possible. So, yeah. Oh crap. So yeah, I was gonna go for a bit. Sorry for the interruption, but I try everything in my power to usually make it back. And ability. Okay, so it does in fact work. So sorry for the interruption, but I'm back. So where was I? Yeah. Besides the bad shot that I got with picking up, which is kind of cringe-worthy in my opinion, we apologize for that. I'm gonna do better this time without interruptions. But where was I? Next, try to play an N64 game with a Duelsense control. I'm not sure if it actually works so well, but whatever. Oh, it does actually in fact work. Okay, no, so let's try this from the get-go. There's no full screen, or yes, it is. Okay, so
It's tail time.
it doesn't really work as I actually anticipated, and apparently, there's like a huge screen. Oh, it does in fact work. Oh, the D-pad works. Oh my god. Okay, so it does in fact work them out expertise. And it's loud. Okay. It happens to be on me, but alright then. So in case you didn't know so far, it actually does work with the N64 emulator. I never knew that. I thought it wasn't going to work for my expertise, but yeah, that's about it. The buttons actually are responsive, and I don't have any issues.
So, this is where they decided to change code. Slip of the tongue.
Both the analog and D-pad actually works. I don't have any issues.
Beat the Matterhorn, what are you gonna do?
Not actually bad to say the least. It works. The C-stick on my left analog stick actually works. No issues to say the least. Alright then. Kinda badass to say the least. I'm surprised it actually works in its current state.
Reminds me of Halloween at Rip.
Okay, so it does in fact work. What a shocker. I'm mostly surprised that it actually kind of works after I actually input my controller configurations. But beyond that, it does in fact work based on experience. Based on what I see, well, I can affirm for the fact that yes, it does in fact work. There's no issues about it. There's no input lag. It does work as it is. I am surprised it actually works. Now as for this muse, now like I said, the problem with using control for this muse is that you have to understand the fact that there's with DS emulation with ROMs, you have to use your mouse and use a controller at the same time. It's not possible to do it, but if it actually works for the Duelsense 4 being plugged into the PC, then I wouldn't be surprised. Now, we know for the fact that it can usually work outside of Steam and can usually work with emulators, but like I said, you can never be too careful. And apparently, we don't need XPad for anything. That's the thing about this controller is that you can just plug in the Type C controller, and you really don't need XPad for anything. In all seriousness, you don't really need to. For I know so far, you don't need the darn XPad for the majority of, let's say let's just say you don't need to usually download XPad to play your games. That was the biggest problem with a lot of AP dual controllers, including with auto controllers in the past with similar gamepads. In order to usually use that gamepad for your PC, you need to download a simple driver that was not local to your PC. You would need to download XPad, which, depending on the update, you had to update the firmware, which may or may not work. And even if you did update the firmware for the driver, it doesn't really work. What I like about the Duelsense PS5 controller is that you don't need to have a third-party driver. You can just plug this in, and then Windows will actually do it for you, and then we actually work with emulators. So yeah, that's what makes this usually kind of badass, to be honest. I don't need to download XPad because it's not really reliable. For the most part, I can actually safe to assume that this actually works. So let's try to use this to with code. We could try a Final Fantasy. We could try Game Mirage. I don't know how it usually works, but we could try to use Garfield Gets Real. Let's do that instead. Like I said before, like I said, it doesn't really work with a vertical angle because the thing about DS games the thing about DS games in the past is that so you could usually configure your controllers, but the thing about DS emulation is that most DS ROMs will require you to use the touchpad most of the time. You can't just usually pick up this and not actually use it most of the time. You would need to usually pick up a controller and actually work. And something that does affect working in your own favor, but if you want to use this for the D-pad, then you have to pick a different game that uses a button. Now we can't see some games. You can try to press it, but as for typing some keyboards, you have to use your touchpad I would say about this game so far is that it may work for some games, but like I said, you have to be careful with actually basic because some PS games will only require you to use the touchpad, and if you play the complete configuration, it doesn't really work due to the fact that There's some games such as the gas system, DS, so you could use the D-pad. But as for some levels, you must use a touchpad. That's not always the case, but it does apply to both. Not that different to use and track with the control, but like I said, some games will allow you to usually play it. Some games will not allow you to usually play without the touchpad. So yeah, proceed with caution, and that's pretty much it. It's not even that bad, but like I said, some DS games will only allow you to play with a touchpad, and then when that happens, you're pretty much kind of screwed. And that's pretty much about it. I can't say anything else besides the fact. Now let's try Tony Hawk. Let's try Shark Pro. Now I do have. Now besides that, there's some games that you can't. There's some games where like I said, there's some games such as Tony Hawk Underground Pro. But like I said before, there's some games where you can't usually get it. Now, like I said, so if you remember from my past videos from way back in the day, I would think it was actually the last 2 years. I think it was 2008, I think. Holy crap, I forgot. Back in 2008, I used to live stream the Tony Hawk Pro Skater launcher. And that's because this is more of a covered copy of a torrent site. And before that, I was usually playing on a DualShock 4 control of that time. Now the thing about playing this on the controller is that you need to understand the fact that if you want to use this, you need to actually get the you need to get a DS4 controller driver. Now the thing is that it may work most of the time, may not. What makes this driver actually kind of useful is that you need to actually, if you want to use the PS4 controller of that time, remember this is usually USB Type B of that time, you have to use a DS4 Windows, and it may matter work. Now sometimes it may work, but it doesn't. But most of the time it doesn't really work to record. And for the most part, I got a lot of mods I want to install, but I never have it. And there's like a lot of drivers you have to keep in mind. Now, honestly, the fact, DS4 is kind of a pain in the ass because why I hate using it so fast that you need to keep it on at all times. If that window is actually kind of closed, you can't use the controller and it would be able to register. That's why I hate it. But let's see if it actually works without it, because I don't want to use DS4 because I'm not sure if the sync credits from DS4 is gonna make DS5 Windows. Because it's one of those drivers I'm not really fond of, and beyond that, let's try to use it. It's been some ages since I actually use it. I haven't really used Shark Pro for God knows what. Let's see. Okay then. Okay, so it recognized as a gamepad. That's new. We don't need to open up DS4 windows. Okay. Let's play Sock Pro. It's running these on fires. Yada yada. I already played this for God knows what. It's been 2 years since I actually played Sock Pro, so who knows? It also updates automatic, which is kind of weird, but for a game that's actually 5 years older, it does update. So there's like a heavy community base. So that's actually kind of new. I never knew it actually does that. I'm kind of scared because I'm not sure how it usually works, but it is what it is. Would it work with an analog stick or only a D-pad? I wouldn't know. Was that it? Do I need alright then. That's actually kind of confusing to say the least, but let's play Sock Pro. Okay then. Sorry about the OBS in the background. Let's play this. Hope we don't get a black screen. Please don't let it be a black screen. And I got a black screen. VBKA. So it's kind of different so far. We have to create game. So maybe because I usually use a different resolution, but oh my god, that was actually kind of bad. So yeah, surprise we don't need to, so we don't need to open up DS4 windows. Thank God. So like I said before, you can actually use a gamepad for the most of all. It's gotta be confusing, but let's try to use I forgot what was resolution that was actually able to usually do full screen. I don't know. It was 1280 times 1024. I don't know. I already played this game since God knows what, and I come scared if this actually works. Another bright screen. And you can't really see it, but there's only a bright screen, so okay, that was an embarrassment. Apparently, I'm having some technical difficulties. The thing about Tony Hawk, the thing about Sock Pro is that sometimes it only works. It only works if you have a certain resolution, but I wouldn't know if it actually works so far. But we don't need X input for anything. We can just plug this in and just play Tony Hawk routed. You don't need to use DS4 for anything, and I'm kind of scared if it actually does in fact work. Because I had some difficulty trying to play this around, and it doesn't really let me spray it. And, yeah. Well, I'll give you some commentary if it does work. So, I guess what makes this usually kind of different when you play Sock Pro is that, you press square as opposed to X, and maybe it was usually kind of different, but when it comes to a decent game input, it doesn't even work. Let me use 1280 times 7068. I don't know if it actually works, but I just want to see some gameplay as much as possible. I hope it actually works. So yeah, you can't see it, but it's glitchy. And am I getting frustrated? No. I'm kind of expecting it's going to happen because this is an old game, and let's try 10, 10, 24. I don't know. Can it work? I have a hard time trying to sort this on video. It doesn't really allow me to actually show some gameplay video from the get-go. You already saw that I put on the resolution, and it doesn't really work. It puts cursor sharp. I might as well just use might as well just usually put Windows mode, and then that's about it. I tried. I tried to use Windows mode, but it doesn't really work. It's something about this is cripping. I don't know if it actually works, but can we just play Sock Pro without any issues? Thank you. Really have a hard time with this one. Doesn't really allow me to play it, but oh god. It's abomination. Yeah, you could see from my screen that it's not going well, but it does in fact work without a default control. Maybe it might be a glitch, but you can't really see it so far. And beyond that, it's not really that work. There's like a lot of work I had to do so far. Something about anti-racing. I'm not sure if that's actually gonna be productive, but I don't even know. Okay then, it doesn't even work. I tried multiple times. It won't let me. Was it because I had to usually go up beyond? I think. I mean, I try my best to show some gameplay as much as possible, but the thing about OBS is that I guess that it wasn't really optimized. It wasn't really that much optimized for some games. Maybe it might be 1084. It does affect. I wanted to show you if it does affect work without using X input or DX4. And it doesn't really, I can't even show you a screen because of it. I have some major issue trying to show some gameplay, but I don't know. Maybe I was kind of lucky that I managed to usually show the gameplay. I don't know. And it doesn't even work. Okay, so if full screen doesn't really work in my favor, go ahead. I might as well just use Windows mode, because if this game doesn't want to work in my favor, then I might as well. Now I could try to use custom resolutions, 1600 and 900 in height, but it doesn't really work. But I'm actually give you a short synopsis. The Duelsense 4 controller does in fact work with Tony Hawk Pro Skater, with Tony Hawk Underground Pro. You don't really need to have X input or have DS4. In the beginning, you need those two if you want to use a PS4 controller, because The PS4 was not optimized for PC. It was only optimized for some. Let's say it was only optimized for some clients and some drivers that was usually compatible. But with DualSense, but with the DualSense, but with the DualSense, let's say. But I might as well just try to usually play this on the go. Let's try to play this on Windows mode because if this doesn't really work the way I actually expected, I might as well just try to play this on the fly. I'm so done trying to usually play this that it gets so frustrating. And trust me, I try my best to usually be patient, but it doesn't really work in Windows mode. And I could try to usually keep it sane, but doesn't really work in my criteria. But let's try to play this in the worst cropping position I have so far. Bear with me, I don't have a big monitor as you guys, but this is the best I can do. So let's do some gameplay. As you might know, it does in fact work. You don't need X input. You don't need DS4 Windows. It works well. You can also use the analog stick, and it actually worked well. So yeah. The only thing that actually is kind of confusing is that instead of pressing X, you press Trail, and you press X to cancel out or go back. Kind of weird, but it is what it is. So in general, that's pretty much it. So like I said, I don't know how this game is supposed to work, but apparently, it has the most confusing, I don't know, it has the most confusing control schemes if you don't put any input. Oh god. Oh, the camera. Oh my god. This is so bad. Okay, I had to keep this out. Okay, so yeah. So in conclusion, it does in fact work with the DualSense control. It might be due to the fact that compared to all other games I usually play, it might be due to the fact that so yeah, I'm gonna have to change my. Well, apparently, if you check gamepad, it does give you the controls automatic, but it's kind of weird. It's not that consistent, and you might as well try to usually fix this. Like I said, I don't even know what happens, but there's like the select button. I don't really know how, but we got the gnarly and the Twitch. I don't know how it's supposed to work, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, it does in fact work without using X input, and like I said, it does takes up too much space. It's not really necessary to use X input, but if you actually use this for Play Chalk Pro, if you use Final Turn Pro Skater 2, this is for you. This is actually kind of useful if you want to play the old school games that you haven't done so far. And this is actually kind of useful if you don't want to deal with the hassle of having DS4 in the background and not working 9 episodes at a time. It doesn't really charge your DualShock for control, but it does help in the long run, guaranteed. So I think I fixed it in the long run, and so let's try what is the password system? Okay. So it does affect war facility. Okay, so next one is the Strix. Let's see if it actually works. Oh, you can actually use the D-pad. I forgot. That's OG. I. Dude, I forgot anything. I haven't really played this game since God knows what. This would take some time to get used to. I actually don't even know what I'm supposed to do, but you're supposed to grab it and yeah. I listen. I'm not used to playing Tony Hawk on the ground. I used to play Tony Hawk 5, but this is my first time playing this IP in 2020. I used to play this in 2018, but that was like way back in the day. But besides that, you could tell that you don't need to have X games. Sorry, you don't need to have X input or DS4 installed. Now, the control scheme is actually something I can actually get used to because I don't know the whole moveset. I keep doing fakies. I mean, I wouldn't have doing a 50-50 grind. Maybe it's because the game is so sensitive to the point where I don't even know what to do, but I mean, I don't play Tony Hawk Pro Skater Soccer Pro that often. I'm not the most of a huge pro, but how you do it? Oh. I really need some help, but have it quit. So yeah. So yeah, it does in fact work 1% of the time. So you don't really need a you don't really need a you don't need this or X input. You don't need a SCP driver to play with this. It does it automatic, so you don't have to do all the hassle. So that's the best part about the DualShock 4. Now, like I said, I don't even know if this game will usually be more upload and auto. I didn't try Blizzard or World of Warcraft, but like I said, each game is actually kind of different. I had to test each game out, and it's already past that time where I had to usually finish my assessments before Thursday, and I had the hard labs before then. But like I said, it could work for PlayStation now, but I might as well not test that out because the frame rate is actually kind of bad. But who knows? But what the hell not? We might as well just try PlayStation now to see what was hope of internet connection. Now I'm gonna give it a try until maybe I guess with Source, because I did test out emulators. This does work for Sock Pro and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. This does in fact work with emulators such as the N64 and the Steam Cryo. So the only thing I had to keep in mind is the DS. That's the same. And hold on, I need to sign in for a bit. Hey, Kelly, you guys see my... Hold on. You want to watch your works? There we go. Usually with Slick. I'm not gonna give you that much. Might even miss it too easily. So yeah, that's too bad. I know you guys, you want my account so bad you want a game share, but that doesn't really work in today's standards, and you can't game share on my account. I'm sorry, but I know how you guys are kind of stingy with free stuff, and you're kind of cheap. People are cheap today, so on holiday season, it's not even Thanksgiving, and now we're going into Black Friday. How's that possible? It's beyond me, but you get the idea. So yeah, I got myself signed in. It's supposed to sign in now. Internet connection should be good, but all great. So yeah, and now we actually will soon back to our daily program. If you want to see my password so badly, you're not gonna get it from me, not by chance. Okay, so let's try to pick. So let's try to use the parallel control. Now I'm not sure if it actually works for PlayStation now. I know it doesn't really work for the PS. I know it doesn't really work for PS now, but it says you actually do it for PC, but they never say anything about PS now. Apparently it's not registered as a full console. Okay, great. Let me exit this out. Okay, so it doesn't really work, so we got that covered. Okay then, so we know for the fact that it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work for President now, even though it's an online version, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna make more test videos later on, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because the thing is about some game survivors that some will actually work for the DualShock Duelsense wireless control, and sometimes it doesn't. So I wouldn't know the detail, but let's try another IP that we haven't tried so far. Like I said before, this video has gone from 2 hours. I didn't really expect this to be 2 hours longer because Oh my god. I'm actually kind of curious if this actually works for other games, but you already said the proof. No, yeah, like I said, part of the reasons why I had to usually make a gameplay video with the DualShock 4 is because a lot of YouTubers don't usually stay consistent. And that's about it. I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, now I used to think that the Duelsense wireless controller was only but a souped up PS4 control with a additional features, but apparently it does in fact work in some cases. I don't know why, but it does in fact work in my own criteria, and apparently it does in fact work. I'm most surprised that it does work in most cases. But that's about me. I don't have anything else to say so far, but to usually say that it works so far. I don't even know what to do. Like I said before, you can pretty much get this console anywhere else. Pretty much around, if you want to get this around from anything else. You could get this at Target. You can't find it in shelves, so try it. You get it at GameStop. You get it at Walmart. Now, it seems to me that if you want to get it from Sam's Club or any other retailers, you actually have to get the controller online, then they'll order pickup. Because I went to a local Target to get the controller, and it wasn't really there, so it may be misleading. But I think they have it back in the stock room, in the back room, or in the inventory section. And like I said before, it's not that much an easy console, but you could have this console delivered by Amazon. This thing costs about $70, and this thing you can only get one per household. And because there's like a high demand for this thing, it's a good thing I have a pre-order. Now, I didn't try the whole haptic feedback or the adaptive triggers. I didn't really do it because I didn't really care about the triggers. I care about the how if it's actually usable for PC and emulators and Steam, and it doesn't work based on the figure I show you. I don't care about the built-in microphone. I never really tried, but it has a built-in battery, and it has a select speaker, but it uses a accelerometer and gyroscope. But I don't know. I had to get myself a capture card from my local retailer, and it's not going to be possible until I do so. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of difficult to say the least, and I might as well try to do it. I had to get myself a VGA cable for my PC, and try my best to start it. So, yeah. This was actually released, it was supposed to release with the console on the same day on launch day, but this was actually released on October 30th, 2020. Kind of weird, but I didn't expect this to usually happen, but oh my god, it does. So you can actually get it, and Sony will actually ship it to you, or you can actually get it from Amazon. Now, on Amazon, if you want to get this in stock, this will usually cost you about $70 plus taxes. So, like I said, you could get it from Amazon from any sale, and you can get it from November 5th. You could get this in maybe 2 days or sooner, regardless. And it's really a great system. I would say that this is a way better execution because I would rather get it from Amazon than get it from other retailers. Although, in my opinion so far, I might do more test videos on some games, but I don't know the detail. It may work for flash games, MMORPGs, whatnot, how to do some configuration. I don't know, it might work. I might do a Reddit post on my official account, or if I had one, I might do a Twitter, but who knows? it may be possible, but as for the Pulse 3D, you couldn't even get this, but I think it's only Bluetooth. The headset, not even possible. The digital camera. Oh yeah, the SD camera. You can pre-order this and expect it to use your life. I got mine. The thing is that I got mine pre-order. No worry about that. But I already got it the DualShock delivered on the second. I'm still waiting for the camera that's supposed to arrive. I had to pay about $206, so I had to cover some moolah or money. I got there's no game coming out, and yeah, apparently I had to usually get some $80, so I won't be able to do so. But you know, what's the harm of doing it? I got a lot of things that I had to usually get, and I got the large edition, which is supposed to come, so I should be good to go. I'm going to assume that Sony's gonna release a camera maybe at the 6 audio this month, but they might set the audio, so alright now. But beyond that, I got nothing else to say about it. It's like you can get this at your local Best Buy, but you have to make sure you actually get this. You have to make sure you actually get this. You have to ask your local store representative if they actually have it in stock, or you have to actually pick out order online, or you have to usually order online. They pick out in stores. That's how they usually go. I don't know how it usually works, but they have it on Target, but you have to actually do an online pickup. So I mean, that's about it. I got nothing to say about it. The douche, I don't know what to say, but the Duelsense, the whole premise about the Duelsense controller is that it's actually kind of a rare secure controller by all means. I would pretty much say that this is way better than the DualShock 4 in comparison, because in the beginning, the biggest problem with the DualShock 4 is that some games will usually only work with the controls to the point. Like I said before, what makes this usually a complete issue is that it may work in some cases. With big picture mode, it doesn't really work most of the time. Like I said before, this is before Type-C was a huge thing, but apparently this does in fact work. This does not really work. The same with Tony Hawk on a Grand Pro, you need to have X input or DS4 windows on your screen on your desktop at all times, while have the game running on the background at the same time. Otherwise, it wouldn't even work. And the same with emulators. Sometimes it may not work. There's some times where I try to use this and it doesn't really work, and I can't even use this. But with the DualSense controller, I don't have any issues. And since I actually use this, based on a lot of evidence I actually accumulate, you don't need a X input rifle or a DS4 scenario. You can actually just plug it in, pick anything you want, if you actually know what one you actually play on, and then you can just play on, and vice versa. It's really simple, not that hassle, not tedious, not a pain in the ass, and it's actually kind of simple. You can just get any C type, get the Heyday one from Target, way better than this. And you know, it works well. I'm gonna try to get the 8-bit Dual control, try to get myself a capture card from Amazon, and try to have it delivered. But I had to do my research first before I had to get that, and who knows. But maybe I underestimate this from the start. This is a way better execution than the DualShock 4. You don't need a rifle, and I gotta use the Type-C. So I got more Type-C cables around. It's supposed to come, but that's about it. So yeah, I recommend that you actually buy this. It actually works well. It thinks well. You just plug it in, and then that's about it. No hassle, no fuss. It does work the way you actually intended. So beyond that, let's get a Type-C cable, and then you'll be good to go. I don't usually expect this to usually happen, but yeah. The only downside is that it's kind of stiff to take it out, so I had to put some pressure, but it worked well. So that's about it for the Duelsense control. I might be able to showcase it on the Nintendo Switch to see it actually works so far and give it in detail analysis if it actually works. Does it have the gyroscope and the rumble feature? Does it really work with the Nintendo Switch? We don't know. You do the adapter for it, or at least I'm assuming you do, but I'm going to test it out, and then once that usually happens, I might be able to showcase it. But I need a capture card and a VGA cable for my PC, and I should be good to go. Who knows? It might be me. But beyond that, I'm going to end this video because this is a way better video that I actually get more commentary because my Nerf unboxing videos suck. It was terrible. It was amateurish. I don't know what got over me for the long run, but I did something productive. I made 2 videos. One that was crap, that was shite, and this one was actually way superior, better quality. It has way more production file than the average video that I actually did. So it is what it is. So yeah, rat-tat-tat, signing up with this on the Madam. If you're gonna do Black Friday, make sure you actually come prepared because it's gonna be very hectic. But if you come prepared with all ties, make sure you actually stay safe during the holiday season and make sure you don't even get caught. Make sure you actually stay safe, whatnot. It's almost Christmas time, and make sure you actually get that gifts. I'm gonna get the PS4, PS5 as soon as possible, and I'm gonna make new videos. I saw a new series where I'm gonna make new videos on the PS5 console and whatnot. I'm gonna pray to the Almighty Lord above, and I'm gonna try my best to make more quality videos as much as possible. You may not see it, but it's gonna happen. I'll show you the eye. So make sure you subscribe, comment down below, turn on notifications, and make sure you actually stay informed. Turn on that bell, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to my Instagram, my TikTok, which I'll actually leave it down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as much as possible. You guys are actually the best. If it wasn't for you, I would be able to keep the channel growing as it should. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. You may not care about Thanksgiving, but I just don't really care about it. So, sayonara, peace out. Hope you guys have a decent holiday. And I'll see you guys soon in another day. You might need it, you may not. Who knows? It's holiday season, and I hope you have a decent Black Friday. You need it, and so do I.